Hello everyone, today in this video I'm gonna teach you relative pronoun, and this is second video on relative pronoun. I already uploaded first video on relative pronoun, go and watch that. And in this video you wanna learn some rule that is usually used with relative pronoun. Most important rule, believe me, these are the most important rule you must know for any competitive examination for speaking effortless English. So watch the video up to the very end. Don't miss the end. Let's come to the topic here. So let's understand a little bit about relative pronouns here. A relative pronoun works as a connector. Listen again. A relative pronoun works as a connector between two clauses. The clauses may be either coordinate clause or subordinate clause. Okay, and it also introduces a relative clause in a sentence. Now let's come to the rule. First rule here, and try to understand the relative pronoun in the first example. Here see, I. I met Veena. I met Mina who was returning from school here. Who was returning from school. I met Veena who was returning from school. I met Veena here who. This who is a relative pronoun. I met Veena who was returning from school. I have told you everything, okay, about relative pronouns, so you can also understand better from first video. So go and watch that video and understand more here. I met Veena. I met Mina who was returning from school. This who is a relative pronoun, and here see, was returning from school. I met Mina who was returning from school. Here see, this is I met Veena, coordinate clause, who was returning from school, subordinate clause. So just I told you, a relative pronoun works as a connector between two clauses. The clauses may be either coordinate or subordinate. So it is like that. Now here see the second, and this is the first rule here. The boy here. The boy here who. The boy who came here is a player. The boy who came here is a player. The boy who came here is a player. Now understand here the first rule here. The relative pronoun who, which, that. Who, which, that. The relative pronoun who, which, that used as a subject in subordinate clause. And this is the first rule of relative pronoun. And listen again, the first rule of relative pronoun. The relative pronoun who, which, that. Who, which, that is used as a subject in subordinate clause. Remember, in subordinate clause, I'm talking about who, which, that is used as a subject. Used as a subject in subordinate clause, not in coordinate clause. And you know well that subordinate clause is also known as dependent clause. Okay, it is depends upon coordinate clause, and coordinate clause is not independent clause, you know that. So that is the first rule. The relative pronoun who, which, that is used as a subject in subordinate clause. And how here I'm gonna show you. The boy who came here is a player. Here see, the boy is a player who came here. Who came here? The boy is a player. The first coordinate clause. The boy is a player who came here. And who came here is a subordinate clause, and that's why I told you the relative pronoun who, which, that is used as a subject in subordinate clause. The boy is a player who came here. Who came here, subordinate clause, and who. So here in this sentence, relative pronoun who is working as a subject. Who came here? Who came here? So this is a subordinate clause. The boy is a player. The boy who came here is a player. The boy who came here. Subordinate clause is a player. The boy is a player who came here. The boy is a player. Coordinate clause. Who came here? Subordinate clause. So that's why here who is used as a subject in subordinate clause. That is dependent clause. Okay. Subordinate clause. The boy is a player. The boy here in this sentence, the boy is a player. But this sentence, the boy is a player, is coordinate clause and independent clause. It can stand alone in a sentence, but subordinate clause do not. So this is the first rule. The relative pronoun who, which, that is used as a subject in subordinate clause. Okay, so this is the first rule. And now let's move to the second rule and understand second rule from third example. Here, I have a son. I have a son whom, you know well that whom I love very much. Whom I love very much. Try to understand. Okay, I have a son whom I love very much, and you know well that whom is a relative pronoun. Okay, I have a son whom I love very much. Here understand second rule of relative pronoun. The relative pronoun whom, which, that. First I told you the first rule for who, which and that. And this is the second rule for whom, which, that. Not who, whom, which, that. The relative pronoun whom, which, that is used as an object of verbs in a subordinate clause. Listen again, my dear students. Don't miss any word. This is the second rule. The relative pronoun whom, which, that is used as an object of verbs in subordinate clause. Object of verbs in subordinate clause. Now I'm gonna show you here. See. So this third example, I have a son whom I love very much. I have a son, coordinate clause, because it can stand alone in a sentence. It gives you complete meaning, and that's why I have a son is a independent sentence and coordinate clause. But whom I love very much, whom I love very much. I love whom very much. I love whom very much. So that's why here whom, whom is used as an object of verbs love in subordinate clause. This is used as an object of subordinate clause, object of verbs in subordinate clause. Now I told you the second most important rule, and don't forget anything. Now let's come to the third rule of relative pronoun and most important rule for your daily conversation, and understand the third rule of relative pronoun from fourth example. Here, the man, you'll see one thing I would like to say here. Wait, the man and the man and here see his dog. The man and his dog that I saw yesterday have been kidnapped. You see, first again here, the man and his dog that I saw yesterday have been kidnapped. The man and his dog that I saw yesterday have been kidnapped. Again here understand better. And now here, so that's why I'm teaching you the third rule of relative pronoun. Here see, if two antecedents is used in a sentence by joining a conjunction and. If two antecedents is used in a sentence by joining the conjunction and, in which the first should be person and the second should be animals or things. Then after that, the relative pronoun that is used in a sentence. Now let's see again and understand it's better here. Third rule. If two antecedents is used in a sentence by joining the conjunction and. If two antecedents is used in a sentence by joining conjunction and, in which the first should be person and the second should be animals or things. Then after that, the relative pronoun that is used. Here I'm gonna show you here. With fourth example, the man, here see, two antecedents, the man and his dog. Two antecedents, I told you, if two antecedents are used by joining conjunction and is a conjunction and it is joining two antecedents and in which first should be person, the man and his dog. His dog, animals or things. Second should be animals or things. Then after two antecedents, just after that, the relative pronoun that is used. So this is the third rule. The man and his dog that I saw yesterday have been kidnapped. Okay, you got that third rules. Again, see here. If two antecedents are used by joining conjunction and in which first should be person and the second should be animals or things, then after that the relative pronoun that is used here. Two antecedents, the man and his dog. Two antecedents, first the man and his dog, and used by joining conjunction and. Then after that, this relative pronoun is used. You have to use these all rules while speaking. Okay, and now let's see the next rule, that is fourth rule. And now understand the next rule of relative pronoun here through fifth example. Here say Mr. Misra is the, here you have to keep one thing in your mind here, most superlative degree, most. Here see Mr. Misra is the most laborious man that, your relative pronoun, that I have ever seen. Concentrate and try to understand the next most important rule, that is fourth most important rule from fifth example. Mr. Misra is the most. Basically, here in this sentence, the word most is a superlative degree. It is superlative degree, and after that, Mr. Misra is the most laborious man that I have ever seen. The word that is a relative pronoun. The relative pronoun that, the relative pronoun that is used after superlative degree, keep in mind, and don't use other relative pronoun like who, which, where, when and why. Don't use that. If the superlative degree is used, then after that you have to use relative pronoun that, only relative pronoun that can be used after the superlative degree. Keep in mind. And now let's coming to the fifth rule from the sixth example. Now here, see the next rule here. All, basically here all. Try to understand the things here. All here, who and that. You know well that who and that is a relative pronoun. All who that are interested to do this work can start now. You see, all who that, who yeah that, you can use anyone who yeah that, like all who are interested to this work can start now, or all that are interested to this work can start now. Here, what is that fifth rule? Try to understand the fifth rule here. If the word all, if the word all is used for person, only for person, then after that we can use who or that. Both can be used. You can use either who or that. If the word all is used only for a person, keep in mind, and this is fifth rule, most important rule of relative pronoun. And what is that here? See, if the word all is used only for person, then after that the relative pronoun who and that is used. Okay, and that is the fifth rule here. All, and after that, see here, all is basically used for person. All, who, your that. You can use either who or that. All who are interested to this word can start now. And next here, next sentence, all that are interested to this word can start now. Now here understand the next rule, that is sixth rule from seventh example. Here see, all, here again all is used, but something is here. All that, all that, all that glitters is not gold. What I told you in fifth rule, what I told you in fifth rule, if the word all is used only for person, then the relative pronoun who or that is used after the word all. Okay, but if the word all is used for something or anything, not for person, then only the relative pronoun that is used after the word all. Okay, and let's understand here the fifth that I told you. If the word all is used for only person, okay, then you have to use the relative pronoun who and that after the word all. But if the word all is used for something, then after that we have to use relative pronoun that, that only. So I think you understand and you got it. This is the sixth rule. All that glitters is not gold. I told you, here you can see all, who and that. If the word all is used for only used for person, okay, listen again. If the word all is used only for person, then you can use relative pronoun who and that, either who and that, both. You can use both the relative pronoun after the word all. But here in the sixth rule, if the word all is used for something, then only you can use relative pronoun that. All that glitters is not gold. All that glitters is not gold. This is also, I think, very interesting. All that glitters is not gold. This is a fact. And now understand here the next rule, that is seventh rule from eighth example here. Again here see all the money, all the money that, all the money that I gave her has been spent. All the money that I gave her has been spent. All the money that I gave her has been spent. All the money that I gave her has been spent. Here understand the seventh rule better from example here. If the word all is used, if the word all plus uncountable noun is used, then after that here see only relative pronoun that is used. Here see the word all and uncountable noun. Okay, if the word all plus uncountable noun is used in a sentence, then after that the relative pronoun that is used here. All the money that I gave her has been spent. All the money that I gave her has been spent. Remember, if the word all plus uncountable noun is used in a sentence, then after that the relative pronoun that is used. This is the seventh rule. Okay, and now we will study the next rule. And now here in this, and now here understand the next rule, and that is here If you see these all words like here, everything, nothing, the only, any, all, everyone, none, no, nobody, much, little, the same, the few, the little. Again, I'm repeating these all words that I have written here. Everything, nothing, the only, any, all, everyone, none, no, nobody, much, little, the same, the few, the little. After these all words, only the relative pronoun that is used. Okay, this is the eighth rule. No, this is the eighth rule. And what is that eighth rule? After this all words that I told you that I have written, only the relative pronoun that is used. Okay, after these all words, only the relative pronoun that is used in a sentence. After these all words in a sentence, after these all words in a sentence, only the relative pronoun that is used. Now here understand. Here, my father has given me. My father has given me everything. Here, see, everything I have mentioned here. Everything that. So that's why here relative pronoun that is used here. You can see. My father has given me everything that I needed. Now it is clear from the ninth example from the eighth rule. And after all these words, only the relative pronoun that is used here. See, relative pronoun that is used here. My father has given me everything that I needed. My father has given me everything that I needed. My father, I'm talking about my father, my parents. My father has given me everything that I needed. Don't use other relative pronoun in place of that. Otherwise, the sentence will be incorrect. Okay? Use the right form of that, the relative pronoun that after this all word that I have written. Like, my father has given me everything. Everything, the word everything I have written here. Everything, nothing, the only, any, all, everyone, none, no, nobody, much, little, the same, the few, the little. My father has given me everything here, everything that I needed. So that's why after all these words in a sentence, only the relative pronoun that is used. That. I'm talking about that. Now let's see the next. This is this is the only pen here again that I bought yesterday. Again, see here. This is the only pen here. Only. I'm gonna show you here. This is the only here. The only is used. Just I told you after this all word that I have written, I have mentioned above only relative pronoun that is used. Keep in mind, don't forget. Most important rule. This is the only pen that I have bought yesterday. This is the right sentence. But you can't say like this is the only pen which I bought yesterday. Use only that after this all word that I have mentioned above. Okay? Only use that, the relative pronoun that after all these words I have mentioned above. Next one, my wife. My wife has spent the little again here. The little money, and again here see that is you that I gave her. Again here see the little, and see here the little I am mentioned above. So this is the word is you. My wife has spent the little money that I gave her. So that is your the relative pronoun that is yours. My wife has spent the little money that I gave her. And here the last rule is that, like, this is the same man that deceived me. If the verb is clear in a sentence, after, here see, the same plus noun only, relative pronoun that is yours. This is also most important. Like, this is, here see, this is the same, this is the same. Only that is used after the verb is clear. Okay. If the verb is clear in a sentence, then after the same, after the word, after the, oh sorry, after the word the same plus noun, here the same plus noun only, this rule is only for you if the verb is clearly mentioned in a sentence. If the verb is clearly mentioned in a sentence, then after the same plus noun only, relative pronoun that is used. Like, this is the same man, the same plus noun, and after that relative pronoun that is yours. This is the same man that deceived me, verb is clearly mentioned. So I told you all the rules. This is the complete video on relative pronoun, the types of noun. Now we will discuss the next types of noun, and till then, bye bye, love you all.